Good evening to everyone. Can you help me put your hands together for an amazing group of individuals led by Jody Gillette in the chair, our Lynchburg Education Foundation. Here we are again after a few years away, but tonight, because of their outstanding planning and leadership, we are here to celebrate these seniors who have achieved the highest honors. Let's give them a hand for their hard work, Jody and everybody. I must say that it is an extreme privilege to serve on what I consider to be the greatest school board anywhere in the Commonwealth or the nation. It is one of the great privileges we have to join in with our families and honorees at such a time as this. I must tell you that 38 years ago, I sat where these distinguished individuals are seated. It was the year 1984. And in that graduation from Hermitage High School in Henrico County, there was a song that was out that helped me a lot. That song was written by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. And even though in that song entitled The Message, they characterized indigenous life in which I was not familiar. But when it got to the part where it said, "So don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head." It's like a jungle sometimes, and it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Those words anchored me, and I'm sure it anchored my distinguished colleagues on the school board. It helped me to appreciate work ethic, because what it was trying to say is life is not going to be easy. But if you develop a work ethic, a belief in work as a moral good, a set of values centered on the importance of doing work, especially a desire or determination to work hard, which is often stated as working smart, you'll be able to succeed. And so because of that, I journeyed to James Madison University and met my wife. I journeyed to Virginia Union University. I journeyed to United Theological Seminary, to Duke University and Harvard University. And my colleagues on the school board, some of which are here tonight, I salute Susan Morrison and Gary Harvey and Bob Brennan and Randy Trost. And in their absence, if they're not here, Dr. Carter and our distinguished workers who are involved in other things tonight, Dr. Gupta. And my heart is heavy tonight for Dr. Michael Millis. But all of them, all 9 of us, have worked hard. Dr. Kim Sinha. And you have worked hard. And the only place where the word success comes before the word work is in the dictionary. So you work hard, and we'll look forward to celebrating you making the world better than we found it. Now, can I tell you, they talk about the hardest worker in showbiz. Can I tell you who is the hardest working superintendent in education? Our 13th superintendent, Dr. Crystal Edwards. Welcome her at this time. And one more time, let's give it up for our honorees. We are proud of each of you. Keep on working hard.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Next year, I want to go before him. I cannot sing and do what he does. And I just learned you graduated in 1984, and I graduated in 1983. Oh, my goodness. Woo. Lots of work. Students, wow. We are so proud of you. First of all, we're proud to be in person, right? Let's give it up for just being in person. And since y'all about to graduate, I'm not going to refer to you as my babies because you're about grown now. But we want to just take a moment and celebrate you. You have had the most amazing journey and the most crazy high school journey that anyone can ever imagine right now. 10th grade, remember 10th grade? It was going well. Right, just moving along, getting excited. You're like, oh, I'm almost an upperclassman. And then March, we decided, let's just cancel that. Let's cancel school. Let's move on. And then your junior year, let's bring on hybrid education, something totally new. Let's throw you into the world of virtual learning. 2 days a week. Some of you like that. You slept late. You managed your time. It was great. Some of you missed us. And then this year, we came back 5 days a week. And it might have been tough for a few of you, especially those of you who like to sleep late. But we made it back. But through it all, you kept your head on. You kept your head straight. You stayed focused on what you needed to do. You never let any of this get you down. It may have slowed you a little bit, but it never stopped you. You kept moving forward. You had perseverance, resilience, crafty skills. You talked to one another. And more importantly, in the last 2 years, you have supported one another like I have not seen in my high school career here. And I am so grateful for you all. And you young people, with your flexibility and your roll with it spirit, have taught us older people how to enjoy life, how to just let go, roll with the punches. So again, we are grateful for the things that you have showed us during this time. And that's the theme of my short little talk, just being grateful. And normally I have this wonderful speech about the students, but today it's about the parents. I want to take a moment and just be grateful for our parents and our caregivers and our teachers, the adults in our lives who are here with us today, some aren't, but who helped us get here. So parents, you were the first teacher in your child's life. You were the one who had the toughest question to answer of all. Why? Why? You answer it and then, but why? But why? But why? Why went on forever. And if you're like me, I have 5 children. That 5th kid who asked me why, I said, ask your brother and sister. Tired of answering why. But we didn't stop. They were curious. They were excited about the world around them. And we were excited for them, being their parents and their caregivers. And you sent them to school. You sent them to us. And guess what they did to us teachers? Why? Why? But why? But why? They continued with the why, the curiosity. They challenged us to challenge them. And they wouldn't stop. And they didn't stop. And then they became middle schoolers. And parents, you were the original Uber drivers and the original Uber Eats, right? We drove them everywhere they needed to go and made sure that they were fed and they had what they needed. Why? Because we love them. And whether they were exploring something that they absolutely love, like soccer and gymnastics and arts and things, or things that, no, I don't want to do that anymore, I don't want to go. It was still all done with love. We helped develop these young people into who they are by giving them experiences that they absolutely enjoy and cherish, but also letting them have an opportunity where they learn something about themselves that says, not so much for me. But guess what? Through it all, family was there. Through it all, teachers were there. And then, family, we asked you to be their teachers again. When we had the pandemic, when they were home, When we needed your help, we needed your partnership to do virtual learning, to get them online, to do class 2 days a week. You stepped up, you stepped in, and you never gave up. And you helped as much as you could. And some of y'all would call and say, I don't know AP chemistry. I can't help my child with this. That's okay. They just needed to know that you loved and supported them through the journey. And here we are today at this magical moment where we are looking at the top students in both high schools. And you don't become the top student without, as Dr. Coleman said, putting in the work, being successful, learning from your mistakes, never giving up. But really, as you consider where you are right now, let us all take a moment to just be grateful that we're here in each other's company, grateful that we made it to this point in our journeys for the future look bright, grateful that we have survived, thrived, and made the best of it through this pandemic, grateful for the opportunities, and even grateful for the lessons we learned. You never know how much you love something till you take it away. And when they took away in-person learning, we missed you. You missed us. We missed socialization. So we have learned so much about personal skills, being supports for one another, being in the same place, and just appreciating the presence of each other. So as you all go off to your next journey, whether that's college, entrepreneurship, or the military, be grateful. Enjoy the people in your life. Enjoy the people who you are with. Take a moment, smile, talk to them and say, you know what, it's all good right now. It's all good right now. Because that's what you all have done for me. During these 2 years, it's been rough to be a superintendent of schools anywhere. But when I have students like you all who smile, who still participate in the arts, who still, I don't know how y'all did sports, but you did, and won championships, just really did wonderful things. And every time I saw you, you were smiling, you were happy, you were moving forward. And that did it for me, and I'm sure for many of your teachers and staff members who worked with you, who are here now, who also felt like, oh, you are a breath of fresh air. And you will continue to be that breath of fresh air as we move forward. So I celebrate you. I celebrate your parents for sharing you with us. I celebrate your teachers for being that foundation to get you here. And most of all, I celebrate just being able to be up here and give these few little minutes of talk about just being grateful. And I stand between you and dinner, so I know, short and sweet. So I would just like to say on behalf of Lynchburg City Schools, my school board, the Education Foundation, which is the best partner to have here at Lynchburg City Schools. They do so very much for us that we are eternally grateful to Jody and Mac and the whole entire Ed Foundation. Let us celebrate tonight and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Someone will come to your table and guide you towards the food area, and there is sanitizer at the head of the table. So can we give ourselves a round of applause as we eat together for the first time in 2 years? Thank you.
My name is Mac Frankfurt. I'm the president of the Ed Foundation. It's my great honor to say a few words up here and introduce our speaker tonight. The Ed Foundation, if you were not totally familiar, our mission statement is to advance excellence and equity in the Lynchburg City Schools through advocacy and educational funding. This is just one of the events that we do to recognize excellence in our schools. And I can tell you, I've been to a number of these over the years, starting when I was on the school board. Paul Fitzgerald and I were talking about that a lot longer ago than I'd like to remember, when this event first started. And it's one of the most joyful things we do to recognize the achievements of these students who have worked so hard to get themselves here tonight. And it is the least we can do to recognize them and their parents. I know how proud the parents are. We're proud of you too. It's a great thing to celebrate this, and it's a good thing for the community when our students achieve so much and set out on life to do great things. Who knows where life will take you from here? We don't know. None of us are privy to the future. But I can tell you it's likely to end well. There'll be some ups and downs. Stick with the plan that got you here tonight. Work hard, stay on top of things, honor your commitments, and I would say too, be a good person, be kind, be generous. The world needs people like that. Doesn't need the opposite kind much. There's way too many of those people. You can choose which one you want to be, so I hope you will choose to be on the good side of things. Just a couple of acknowledgments for tonight. This event is hosted by the Ed Foundation, and if the trustees would stand, please, and be recognized. And Jody Gillette, our executive director. Thank you. They've been a great group for me to work with. The school board, those school board members that are here, will they please stand up for a quick acknowledgement? Thank you very much. And we wouldn't have this dinner if we didn't get a little financial support. And that comes from the area's colleges and universities. So I would like to also recognize the generous financial support of Central College of Nursing, Central Virginia Community College, Liberty University, Randolph College, Sweetbriar College, University of Lynchburg, and Virginia University of Lynchburg. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Now I get to introduce our speaker tonight, and we've had some wonderful speakers over the years and some really interesting people, and I've got to tell you that Emily Crowder is right up there. Is one of the most interesting backgrounds that she brings to this event tonight. Emily Crowder joined Global Camps Africa in 2010, so 12 years ago. She works, it's an organization that works to support children. In the beginning, at least as I understand it, Emily, your organization was there to support children who were victims of HIV and AIDS in Africa. Talk about doing good works. There's one. She is now executive director at GCA. She's responsible for organizational and board developments, operational management, planning, coordination of fundraising, and communications. And this is a board that's scattered over the world, from coast to coast in our country. She manages putting together meetings. If you think Zoom meetings around here are tough, try working from South Africa to California and all over the place. There's a lot of coordination there. Emily has also done consulting work for boards in town. She's been a member of the board of Camp Kumbaya. She's worked with the Academy Center, Downtown Lynchburg Association, Jefferson Center. She's a 1999 graduate of Brookville High School, earned her undergraduate degree in political science with a concentration in international affairs from James Madison University. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce to you tonight Emily Crowder.
Good evening, everyone. So I want to start tonight with just a couple of notes of appreciation and gratitude, building on what Dr. Edwards mentioned earlier, the sense of gratitude that we all have here tonight. I want to express some gratitude For the Lynchburg City Schools Education Foundation's Board of Trustees, thank you so much for hosting this really special event tonight. It's great to be here. And to Jody Gillette, who's the executive director and overall community superhero, thank you for inviting me. There are also Lynchburg City Schools teachers in the room and staff who have inspired and challenged these students to achieve this recognition tonight, and I think they deserve our gratitude as well. As parents, grandparents, friends, caregivers, and all of you who've been on this learning journey with your scholars, it's taken all of you to get us here together tonight to celebrate these extraordinary young people. Thank you all for your critical contributions. You have made these contributions not just to these students' achievement, but to their well-being, and I appreciate that, and I know they do too, so thank you all. Now I want to say some congratulations. Seniors. Wow. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. Just getting to the finish line after these last couple of exceptionally challenging years, in my book, deserves a standing ovation. But you didn't just settle for the finish line, did you? Nope. Classic overachievers. You decided that despite all the obstacles that the world was going to throw in your way, that you were going to follow your path to what you knew you were capable of. And you did it. Here we are. The 2022 Senior Honors Recognition Dinner, top 15 in your class. Well done. Well done. So I am Emily Crowder. I'm the executive director at Global Camps Africa. It's an international nonprofit organization that equips South Africa's vulnerable children with the tools they need to live healthy, empowered lives and to make positive impacts on their communities. We do this through residential and day camp programs and year-round clubs in 7 locations in the townships around Johannesburg and South Africa. We use the fun and the sense of belonging that kids feel in the camp environment to create the best possible conditions for learning and for meeting emerging challenges. Health and nutrition, young women's empowerment, financial literacy and entrepreneurship, academic tutoring. We work to wrap around the whole child with the supportive services and caring adults they need to not just survive, but thrive. So far, we've reached more than 10,000 orphans and vulnerable children with our flagship camp program, and many thousands more through our community-based clubs. But the most relevant thing about me for tonight's purposes, and the reason I was invited to join you here this evening, is because I was born and raised in Lynchburg, Virginia. I'm a product of the public school systems and of this community just like you. So I had a really terrific educational experience here. But when I graduated from high school, I was excited to try something new. Anyone else here feel that way a little bit? Well, I did. So I went away to college. And assuming that many of you may be planning to do the same, I thought I'd share a few key learnings from my adventures in undergrad, just in case they come in handy in your not too distant future. So here we go. Number 1, find your people. This can be really tough, but it's worth the effort. What do you want out of your college experience? Put yourself in the way of other people who you think might want the same things. Get out there and try to connect. Extracurricular clubs? Yes. Karaoke dorm night? Yes. Awkwardly standing at the smoothie machine to bump into someone you might like to get to know? Also, yes. I mean, you have to be vulnerable and take the risk. You may get embarrassed, and I know that's awful. Believe me, it still happens to me all the time. But it's worth it. When you find your people, everything else gets a lot easier. Number 2, be honest with yourself. Guys, sometimes the things that made us successful in high school or in our communities at home, they just don't work for us when we transition to new environments. Make it a practice to check in with yourself regularly and seriously ask yourself, how's it going? Are your study habits still effective? Is the way that you relate to people still producing the sense of connection that you want? Are the ways that you measure success still ideal? If your tried and true ways of operating in the world aren't working for you anymore, it's okay to let them go and try something new. Be honest with yourself about how things are going and be open to shifting your approach when you want different results. It just won't do you any good to hold on too long to any habit or practice or way of doing things that isn't getting you where you want to go next. So let it go and just try something different. Number 3, keep it in perspective. Okay, I realize I'm addressing a room full of students who have achieved extraordinary academic success, so this may be controversial, but grades aren't everything. I mean, they're important, I know, and I don't want to deny that fact. But when I think about my undergraduate years and the parts of the experience that put me in a position to pursue my dreams, my actual grades are not at the top of that list. And so I encourage you to try to keep things in perspective. College is a learning experience for you as a whole person, not just as a student. So here are some of the other big things you might want to consider when you're evaluating your success as a college student. Your mental health and well-being, your exposure to new experiences and new ideas, time management and self-direction, your ability to focus on what's important and prioritize, healthy, supportive relationships. Now that last one is a biggie. Managing your relationships with your roommates, your classmates, your teammates, your professors, your advisors, your friends. These are going to be the secret to your success. You're the biggest factor in your overall success. And that's true not just in college, but for the rest of your life. It's impossible, like actually impossible, even for you very, very capable people, to do all of these things perfectly all the time. So when things go off the rails in one or more of these areas, try to keep it in perspective. Are your grades not exactly where you wanted them to be this semester? Okay, that's disappointing. And you can recover from that. Ask for help if you need it. Are your grades awesome, but you feel overwhelmed and stressed out beyond your capacity to deal? Okay, that's a problem. And you can take the steps you need to find a healthier balance. There are lots of resources out there for you. Reach out. You all understand my point, I hope. In this next phase, there will be a lot of really important and sometimes competing priorities for you to manage. Try to remember that your goal is a healthy, happy life, and that college is just one chapter in your story. Think expansively, and then keep it in perspective. So after college, I went to Washington, D.C. I knew I wanted to work in international development, so I became a nanny. But seriously, I took a nanny gig while I searched for a job. Things did not fall into place for me right out of the gate. To find my way, I depended on my people. See, I told you they were important. They encouraged me, and they helped me open doors when I got stuck. I also tried to be honest with myself. When I wanted to advance my career, I really asked myself what I needed to change to be able to get there. And then I had an honest conversation with myself about whether I was willing to do those things. Ultimately, I did. I went back to graduate school and got my master's degree in global health policy, but I had to be honest with myself about what it was going to take for me to get there. And finally, the hardest part for me, I tried to keep things in perspective. Failure hurts, and it's embarrassing, and it's inevitable if you want to do anything worthwhile in your life. So, after working at a large international development organization where I got to travel all over sub-Saharan Africa to support programs that prevent the transmission of HIV from infected moms to their babies, and, side note, I got to co-produce a documentary film about that work with Nigel Barker from America's Next Top Model, which was pretty cool. I decided to join a much smaller organization and to focus on psychosocial support for HIV-affected youth. For the last 10 years, I've been living my dream at Global Camps Africa. And I've been doing it from right here in Lynchburg, where I get to be part of this community I love and pursue my passion for helping children and families. So I tell you all of this to encourage you as you graduate with distinction and start this next chapter of your lives. If you find your people, you're honest with yourselves, and you keep it in perspective, your dreams are within reach. And this community will be 100% behind you. So thank you, and congratulations to you all.
Let's give Emily another round of applause, please. Thank you, Emily, for your outstanding words of wisdom, your energetic remarks this evening. Your work is admirable, and we commend you on your efforts to make this world a better place by helping so many in need. My name is Tim Beatty, and I'm the principal at Heritage High School.
And my name is Rose Floor, and I'm the proud principal at EC Glass High School. Along with Mr. Beatty, it is our pleasure this evening to announce this year's Seniors Honors recipients for achieving a class rank of 1 through 15 in their high school. This class will be known for their resiliency as their high school experience was interrupted and then reinvented before their very eyes. Despite so many challenges, these students found a path to enjoy many special programs and accomplished a lot during their time with Lynchburg City Schools. Just to share a few highlights.
These students participated in local, state, and national competitions. Some embraced their creative side and enjoyed time performing on the stage, marching in a band, or creating beautiful pieces of art. Others enjoyed physical competition and became athletes both in and out of school through sports such as basketball, beach volleyball, cross country, football, ice hockey, softball, and track. While others spent time as cadets in JROTC, working for a healthier planet through their environmental club, or rising to impressive levels in statewide organizations, such as co-editor-in-chief of the Virginia Junior Academy of Science. Some attended governor's school, while others attended early college. You are leaders and have served a wide variety of capacities, such as club presidents, National Honor Society officers, and team captains. You are compassionate citizens who work to help those in need through the Mercy Club, while others work to bring their community together through Lynchburg Students Rise. You missed out on some field trips and had to find new ways to spend time with friends, but you did eke out a senior prom and an in-person graduation. Some are off to college, while others are off to new adventures. Many are scholarship recipients. Our students have experienced achievements as early as elementary school, leaving behind them a trail of success in writing contests, science fairs, festivals, plays, athletics, and many other contests. Despite challenges, we could not have imagined when they started in 10th grade that these students have succeeded. We will now show you a video.
It is now my pleasure to announce the top 15 2022 Heritage High School graduates and the special teacher they have chosen to honor. I will announce the name of each student, the school they plan to attend next year, share some fun facts about each student, and then announce their honored teacher and why this teacher was chosen. I will read the students' names in alphabetical order. Students, you will come up over here to receive your certificate from Dr. Coleman, and then come over here to have your picture taken with Mr. Beatty and Dr. Edwards. Honored teacher, if I could ask that you come up here as I'm reading the name to be ready for the teacher. And I believe that's it. So now it is time for the honorees from Heritage High School. Pablo Alanis, Liberty University. Pablo enjoys video games and reading. He is also a member of the Environmental Club. His favorite LCS memories are of the rallies before the pandemic. Pablo plans a career as an electrical engineer, and his ultimate goal is to live a good life and do well economically. Pablo has chosen Dr. Scott Douglas as his honored teacher because the physics class is so enjoyable that Pablo looks forward to it every day. Next, Charlie Arms, U.S. Naval Academy. Charlie has enjoyed his time in the classroom and in marching band. His favorite TV program is Futurama, and his goal is to serve in the military as a Marine aviator. Charlie has honored Sergeant Major Eldridge, his JROTC teacher, for the past 3 years. Raise your hand, Kathy. Next, Sydney Carter, University of Lynchburg. Sydney likes to read and play video games. Her favorite book is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. Sydney's favorite extracurricular activity is National Honor Society, and she hopes to be president someday. Sydney chose to honor Miss Campbell because she's the best teacher I've ever had. Next, Tammy Cash, Central Virginia Community College. Tammy's favorite LCS memory is her 5th grade class trip to Washington, D.C. She also has enjoyed her time in the Color Guard. Tammy's favorite book is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and she plans a career as a librarian. Tammy is honoring Miss Camden because she says, "The art room was my home at Sandusky Middle. Miss Camden was always so supportive and encouraging of whatever project I was working on, and I always felt comfortable being myself in her class." Congratulations. Lily Dobler, dual enrollment, Central Virginia Community College and University of Lynchburg. Lily loves to draw, paint, crochet, sculpt, embroider, and dabble in all things creative. Her favorite LCS memory is marching band. Lily would like to be a teacher or a certified nurse assistant. Lily is honoring Mr. Scruggs and says Mr. Scruggs was always a favorite teacher of mine because he had seemingly endless patience and nurtured my love of music into what it is today. L.J. Green, Longwood University. L.J.'s favorite LCS memory is his time as cross-country team captain, and his favorite TV show is The Flash. L.J. enjoys songwriting and plans to become a statistician. L.J. is honoring Mr. Drumheller because he is grateful for Mr. Drumheller's helpfulness and readiness to reach out to help whenever L.J. was struggling. Next is Jada Haynes. Virginia Western Community College. Jada's favorite activities have been volleyball and band, where she is a percussionist. Her favorite LCS memories are from elementary school talent shows. She plans to become a dental hygienist and travel the world. Jada is honoring Miss Nagaris because she appreciates her charismatic personality and says, "She genuinely took the time to get to know me, and we've kept in touch since my freshman year." Carlene Howard, Roanoke College. Carly's favorite LCS memory is senior night for her basketball team. She says, "The girls on my team made it really special for all of us, and they did a great job." Carly hopes to make a difference in at least one person's life, and she plans for a career as a lawyer or an educator. Carly is honoring Miss Farrell. In addition to her kindness, Carly admires how Miss Farrell controls her classroom and how she carries herself. Next is Aaron Howard, University of Lynchburg. Erin loves playing basketball at Heritage High School and is a twin. Her favorite book is The Hate U Give. Erin hopes to become a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. And tonight, Erin honors Mr. Hallberg for his positive influence on her since she started Heritage High School as a 10th grader. Next, Pranav Jothi, Georgia Tech. Pranav enjoys chess and is a member of the Scholastic Bowl team. His favorite LCS memory is participating in the First in Math program and earning 3rd place in the national rankings. Pranav would like to be a tech entrepreneur. He is honoring today Mr. Stallcup because he appreciates Mr. Stallcup for his help improving his string instrument skills over the last 7 years. Eugene Kim, University of Virginia. Jefferson Scholar, Eccles Scholar. Eugene's favorite LCS memory is playing volleyball and being city champs during her time at Dunbar Middle School. She also enjoys her time as co-editor-in-chief of Virginia Junior Academy of Science. She plans a career as a physician. Eugene is honoring Ms. Shiflett and says Ms. Shiflett made learning math fun even in the virtual environment. She was also a huge source of encouragement and advice during the long application journey. I am so grateful for her help. Elijah Oakes, Stanford University. Elijah's favorite LCS memory is the 4th grade Ghost Center trip to Camp Thunderbird. She loves ziplining, rock climbing, and dancing while spending time with friends and another favorite teacher, Mr. E. She would love to be an Olympic track and field athlete and plans to study econometrics with an eye toward a career in business. Elijah says, I have chosen Ms. Mariner as my honored guest because of the profound effect she had on my school experience by continuing to support me, by always speaking so highly of me, and by continuing to guide me and offer advice even now, almost 12 years later. I can tell she truly cares, and I would love to have her in attendance. Next is Alex Taylor, University of Virginia. Alex is an officer of the Heritage High School Environmental Club. His favorite book is Ask Itawa, Words of Wisdom from Nintendo's legendary CEO, and he plans a career in computer programming or software engineering. Alex honors Dr. Smith for his continued encouragement and support. Dr. Smith always has a smile on his face and brings a sense of fun and wisdom to class. Next is Bren Young, Liberty University. Bren enjoys softball as well as writing and creating. Her favorite LCS memory is her advanced art class and the opportunity it afforded her to share her love of art with like-minded students. Bren hopes to be a political analyst and foster good in the world. Bren honors Miss Camden because she taught me the importance of creativity. She brought out a light in me that I did not know I even had. She created a safe space for me to create and break off from my traditional school responsibilities and taught me that my creativity was just as important to maintain as my education. Congratulations to both our student and teacher pioneers for being recognized for your accomplishments. They are all well deserved. And now I turn the program over to Mr. Beatty.
It's my honor and pleasure to introduce the 2022 senior honorees from E.C. Glass High School. First, we have Charlie Beasley, University of Virginia. Charlie plays varsity softball and loves to embroider. Her career plans include becoming a neonatologist and studying American Sign Language. Charlie honors Ms. Gray as her mentor and as a great science teacher, presenting students with many amazing opportunities. Charlie says it is so nice to have someone who believes in you and your future to motivate you and move you forward. Next, we have George Best, West Virginia University. George enjoys ice hockey and the Fast and Furious movies. So do I. His favorite LCS memory is winning the tug of war at Bedford Hills Elementary Field Day. George plans a career as a civil engineer. George honors Ms. Rawls Fanning for always pushing him to do his best and for continuing to check in on him when they cross paths in the hallways at school. Next, we have Isaiah Bradner, Dartmouth College. Isaiah is a Pokemon trading card game world champion, and he enjoyed participating in Scholastic Bowl competitions. His favorite LCS memory is the concert in Among Us. Isaiah's career aspirations are to become a lawyer and then a judge. Isaiah honors Mr. Matthews for his role as a teacher, mentor, and coach, and is grateful that their relationship has helped Isaiah grow as a student and as a person. Next, we have Brian Kate, Brigham Young University. Brian has loved his time in the marching band, especially winning grand champions. He also enjoys reading science fiction and fantasy. Brian plans a career as an astrophysicist. Brian admires Mr. Brown's method of teaching and appreciated his understanding of Brian's style of learning and given help in accordance with that style. Mr. Brown has sent his regrets that he is unable to join us this evening.
Way back. All the way to you.
Next, we have Owen Dunlop, Clemson University. Owen has enjoyed playing football, basketball, and soccer, and his favorite LCS memory is his senior basketball season. His hobbies are skiing and snowboarding. Owen plans a career as a physician. Owen has chosen Miss Rivers as his honored teacher because he really enjoyed learning biology in her class. Next, we have Sasha Hatch, University of Virginia. Sasha's favorite LCS memory is going undefeated in basketball during her 8th grade year at Dunbar Middle School, and her favorite movie is The Princess Bride. She hopes for a career as a lawyer focusing on patent law in the field of biogenetics. Sasha wants to be her own boss and travel the world. Sasha chose Colonel Graham as her honored teacher because he actively promoted her, boosting her self-confidence. As you wish. Next, we have Eric Copey, Virginia Tech. Eric is on the Scholastic Bowl team, and his favorite LCS memory is answering the final question correctly and beating Jefferson Forest at the Regional Quiz Bowl tournament. His favorite book is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than 30 seconds. Eric plans a career as a software engineer. Eric honors Mr. Giles as the teacher who introduced him to higher level mathematics. He was always there for us after school, tutoring sessions, and I also enjoy competing in math counts in Mr. Giles' class as our coach. Next, we have Ina Lynch, College of William and Mary. Ina likes to crochet little oddities. Her favorite LCS memories are from marching band and the bus rides to and from marching band competitions. When Ina grows up, she wants to have a cat. Ina chose Mrs. Worsham as her honored teacher because she has been a wonderful teacher and good friend. Next, we have Brady Benville, University of Central Florida. Brady is a violinist. His favorite LCS memory is placing second in all-state orchestra auditions. Brady hopes to audition for a major orchestra. Brady honors Ms. DiCarlo as a teacher who has helped him grow and improve as a violinist. Next, we have Reagan Morford, University of Virginia. Reagan's favorite LCS memories are of snow days. She also enjoys book club with Mrs. Wise, E.C. Glass librarian, and her favorite book is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Sorry, I did the best I could. Reagan hopes to attend medical school with an eye towards the field of pathology. Reagan has chosen to honor Ms. Shiflett in gratitude for the one-on-one time she devoted to ensuring Reagan's success at Central Virginia Governor's School. Next, we have Jillian Nyland, University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Jillian's favorite LCS memories are of her time in JROTC. Her favorite movie is The Old Guard. She plans to study computer science and to pursue a career as a software engineer. Jillian says, ever since my freshman year, Mrs. Wise has been a constant source of support, advice, and laughs at EC Glass, whether it be coming through the book club, key club, or just coming and hanging out in the library. She was always there to help out, support, or even just talk. Even after her retirement, she still made time to keep in touch with me. She made my experience at EC Glass 1,000 times better. Thank you for everything, Mrs. Wise. Next, we have Jade Persona, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Jade has enjoyed playing in the marching band, and her favorite LCS memory is laughing with friends on the bus on the way home from band competitions. She also likes to craft things and to sew. Jade plans to be a civil engineer. Jane credits Mrs. Petrie with sharing her love of math and helping me to discover it myself. Next, we have Virginia Blair Trost, University of South Carolina. Virginia loves playing beach volleyball and also plays the piano. Her favorite LCS memories are doing experiments in science labs. Her future plans include being an entrepreneur and running her own health and nutrition business. Virginia chose Miss Gray as her honored teacher because I knew every day that I could count on her class to bring me joy and a good laugh while learning science, which is my favorite subject. Next, we have Eli Wood, University of Virginia. Eli loves to be outside playing sports. His favorite extracurricular activity is football, and his favorite LCS memory is seeing everybody come out to support the lacrosse team last year. Eli looks forward to success academically and athletically in college. Afterwards, he would love to live and work in New York City. Eli is honoring Mr. Camden because he always felt a special connection with him. He appreciates the welcoming classroom environment, and he always learns something new in Mr. Camden's class. Next, we have Jeffrey Witters, University of Virginia. Jeffrey enjoys forensics and playing the violin. His favorite LCS memory is the E.C. Glass Orchestra trip to Busch Gardens when he was in 9th grade. Jeffrey plans a career in medicine, either as a clinician or a medical researcher. Jeffrey honors Dr. Michelle Douglas, who served as his mentor throughout his independent research project at Central Virginia Governor's School. Because of her, I was able to overcome some of my doubts and insecurities regarding research and create an incredible final project. Congratulations to both our student and teacher Hilltoppers for being recognized for your accomplishments. They are all extremely well-deserved. I now turn the program over to Mrs. Gillette.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to see you all tonight. My name is Jody Gillette, and I am the Executive Director of the Lynchburg City Schools Education Foundation. What an incredible group of students who have already accomplished so much and still hold so much promise ahead. It is truly an honor to hold this Scholars Recognition for you. I want to start with many thank yous, beginning with all of this evening's speakers for making this celebration special for our honorees. To our keynote, Emily, the compassion for the children you are helping and the impact you are having is absolutely inspiring. It is exciting to know that a local girl can grow up and play a role on the international stage while enjoying the quality of life that Lynchburg has to offer and highlight so many unique opportunities that are open to us through remote working. Thank you for sharing your story with us this evening. Who better to help us celebrate academic excellence than our local colleges and universities? I extend an extremely heartfelt thank you to our sponsors for making the Senior Honors Reception possible. We appreciate each of you for taking the time to join us this evening, and thank you for your support. We have Michael Ferris, Dean of Enrollment Management at Central Virginia Community College, is here with his wife, Marcy. Dr. Esther Elsindor, Chair of the Early and Elementary Education Program, and Dr. Miranda Arnold, Coordinator of Local Field Experiences, are joining us from Liberty University. Randolph College Dean of Admissions Recruiter Travis Carter is here with his wife, Sarah. Sweetbriar College Senior Associate Director of Admissions, Sharon Walters-Bauer, and Samantha Anderson, Admissions Counselor, are here tonight. Eric Baldwin, VP for Student Development, and Dr. Emma Savage Davis, Dean of the College of Education, are joining us on behalf of the University of Lynchburg, and our own school board chair, Dr. James Coleman, along with two dedicated ambassadors in training, who just happen to be his daughters, Joy and Majesty, are here this evening representing the Virginia University of Lynchburg. We appreciate LCS school board members for attending this evening, two of which themselves are honored family members. Thank you to my incredible board. LCS Education Foundation trustees are also here this evening celebrating your success. I appreciate the work that they do to provide public funding above and beyond public revenues to further support our students and our teachers. The Senior Honors Recognition is one of the many ways that the Lynchburg City Schools Education Foundation meets its mission to advance excellence and equity in the Lynchburg City Schools through advocacy and educational funding. Through classroom innovation grants, tools for schools, warehouse and school supplies, an annual breakfast with the superintendent, a variety of scholarships, many of which you all have received, and other events, we host this annual Senior Honors Recognition event to celebrate true academic excellence. Thank you to Andrew, Josh, Noah, and the entire wait staff this evening for their wonderful service and for going above and beyond during this graduation season to meet our needs and make a memorable event for all of us. Thank you to Andrew Wilds and Austin Journey for creating and managing our audiovisual needs and for documenting this special evening. Scott Kirkwood, Walt Ford, and Tracy Baker also deserve a shout out for their help with all of the pre- and post-event communications. So you've seen Andrew taking photos this evening, and what you will be able to do, not the second you get home, but in the next few days, you'll see in your program a QR code on the page with the sponsor logos, so they all are driven to this page. So you should be able to take your little phone camera up to this, and it'll get you to the photos that will all be available to you, and they are free. So you just have to be able to download what you want. So. And our website will also have a posting on YouTube for our video for the evening. Kudos to our parents. I bet 18 years ago, you never thought you'd have to parent through a pandemic. Prior to March of 2020, a pandemic seemed like something we just read about in history books, but you did it. You guided your child over the school finish line. We know how proud you are of your child's accomplishments, and we commend you for all of your hard work to support their efforts and dreams. Congratulations. And what can we say to our teachers? You've managed to influence your students, whether teaching them in person or remotely. We are fortunate to have so many dedicated teachers who work to ensure that every child, by name and by need, will graduate from our schools and be met with success. Congratulations for being special in your students' lives. Students, you are part of an impressive list of colleges, universities, and scholarships that reflect your dedication and hard work, and I think maybe for the first time this year, a true map of the United States. I think you have gone north, south, east, west, from coast to coast, from border to border, or are going to school, which is amazing. You've accomplished so much during your high school years and are facing some very exciting times ahead. Although the past 2 years have had their hurdles, it has also provided some important insights. You have been given the gift of how to learn how resilient you really are. The past 27 months have shown you that you can adapt to anything, that there's always another way, that opportunities can come from challenges. Despite the curveball thrown at you, life has gone on. You still managed to not only complete, but excel in high school, navigate the college application process with unusual testing schedules and remote support, and were accepted by outstanding academic institutions. It has now been proven that there is no stopping you, and we are lucky to have a class like you guide us into the future. You represent yourself, your family, LCS, and the entire community well, and we wish you the very best. This program will be posted, as I said, on the LCS YouTube site. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, as we will be showcasing each student and honored teacher in the coming days. Students, if you have any information that is outstanding or needs to be updated that you want us to include, send it to me immediately. We thank everyone for attending this event and invite students to please remain for some group photos. So I just ran out and checked. So whatever pending thunderstorms have not arrived yet. So we're good to go outside. We're going to go out this way. And students, please gather on the steps here. Parents, you're certainly welcome. If you want to head out a little bit past to the Dell, that's great. But the steps, we want students so we can get some really fun pictures of various groups of you. So have a wonderful evening. Congratulations. Have a great future.